What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another Wealthy Life Diaries. Today, we're talking about unusual micro habits that make me richer and more creative that I think you will enjoy implementing into your day to day life. Now, I know when we talk about building success, building wealth, being more productive, a lot of times it's habits like making your bed every day or drinking enough water or getting some exercise or waking up super early before the rest of the world or using a certain planning method. And it can feel very stifling, especially if you're not that type of person. It can feel like, is this the only way for me to build success? And it's not. There are so many things that you can do to bring yourself joy in life and creativity. And I think it's so underrated how much joy plays a factor in success building. And so these habits are things that I like to do, particularly when I am feeling a little less creative, when I need that creative spark back, that helps me just feel confident about the work that I am doing. And the first one is cooking something new or trying a food I've never had. I know it sounds kind of corny, but it really does make a difference. Even if it's a dish that you make all the time, but you try to add a little spin on the recipe or just try a different version of that, like a different recipe. Or like if you usually make spaghetti with spaghetti noodles, like trying it with bow tie noodles this time and maybe, baking it instead of serving the sauce over the noodles. Like just mixing it up. And food is such a way to spark creativity from whether it's the presentation or the flavor profile or the just overall service experience. I know when we went to south of France, we went to a Michelin restaurant and it was literally, the food was not all that. I ain't even gonna hold you, but it was the best experience. And I left feeling so creatively stimulated just watching how meticulously the restaurant was run. So, just trying new experiences surrounding food, or it doesn't even have to surround food, but surrounding whatever that thing is for you that makes you feel excited. Another one is listening for entertainment and not just education. I know when it comes to building your wealth and building success, a lot of times we focus so much on self help and business or entrepreneurship and listening to those types of podcasts or audiobooks. And I just have loved listening for entertainment lately. Like over the last year, I have discovered my love for other genres that just stretch me more creatively and force me to engage my emotions differently than something like self-help or business would. And I just want you to know that you don't have to put yourself into a box. You can learn so much. Like I love hearing different sentence structures and how, people creatively put their thoughts together in a different way outside of just sharing information. And this portion of the video is sponsored by Audible. I am obsessed with Audible. Like, now that my life is a little bit busier, I'm pregnant. I'm listening to one of Colleen Hoover's thrillers on Audible called Too Late. Audible has a huge mystery and thriller selection, action-packed or psycho thrillers, depending on your vibe. But surprisingly, listening actually brings the story to life even more because of how amazing the narration is. Like Audible really hits the nail on the head, and they just have like they get it. Like sometimes I'm like, well, I like listening to this title just because, is the narration going to be good? But the narration is always spot on. So new members can get a free trial of Audible. Members also get full access to a growing selection of included audiobooks, Audible originals, and podcasts. You can download included titles all you want. Go to audible.com/erinondemand to sign up for your free trial. Another one is working on a new creative project. We are currently finishing our basement. Now, this is a big new creative project. It doesn't have to be this big, but like I said, these are tips to help you re-spark your creativity, bring you more joy, which ultimately brings you more wealth. I know it's an untraditional way to think about it, but working on the basement has forced me to use like Canva even differently. Like I've been making little mock-ups of the rooms, how I might want them to be styled. And it just really puts my mind, it forces me to like exercise different parts of my brain that I don't typically use on a day-to-day basis. You know, even though I work in a creative field, I don't always get to express my creativity in all these different ways like I like to. So that is another big one. Also, just changing my work environment or getting outside and going for a walk. I think, typically, of course, exercise is like important, but I don't necessarily mean going outside or switching your environment for the sake of exercising because you need to like get exercise. I mean, just to like clear your mind, to help you refocus, to just get that oxygen. I mean, it's just so many benefits to being outside. And we have a dog because it forces us, well, we love our dog, but it also forces us to get outside and it forces us to just make decisions that are, less about work, but just more about our overall well-being. Another thing that I have been enjoying doing to build my wealthy lifestyle is not allowing my energy to be thrown off by things that I shouldn't be dedicating my time to in that moment. And by that, I mean realizing how to anchor my time better. A lot of times we kind of fly by the seat of our pants throughout the day. If somebody calls, we answer. If we get an email, we respond. If someone texts, we reply. And instead, giving myself time in the day to actually dedicate to those things instead of doing them as they come up in the moment. And I feel like a lot of wealthy people or people who just manage their time really well, they really compartmentalize their time and don't let their focus get thrown off by small things that are just going to chip away at the actual goal. I cannot be on the phone anytime before noon. Like that is my time to get my day started, to write my top 3, to set my momentum and my intention for the day and just kind of get my momentum going. And these things can just be momentum stoppers throughout your day. And you realize you just didn't get nearly as much done as you could have because you've gotten so distracted by these external things. And I won't say they're not important because I do think it's important to, take time and build relationships and talk to family and friends and people who enrich your energy. But there's a time for it. These are some of my tips on just unusual micro habits that you can incorporate into your day-to-day life. It doesn't have to be on a huge scale, but I think a lot of times we forget to feed our own creativity. We forget to try something new. When's the last time you did something for the first time? And we just get so caught up in these routines that it's so easy to let the things that bring you true joy and happiness kind of slip through the cracks. So I hope you enjoyed this pod vlog and just continue to evaluate, what do you want out of life? What brings you joy and happiness? And go do those things, okay? I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.